Happy today. I am William Brown from IamWilliamBrown.com. This is Disconnect to Connect One-Word Conversations. One-Word Conversations is a self-discovery relationship building conversation designed to invite you to look at your language to see how you are connecting and disconnecting because of the words that you're using. Many times we come up with all of the lovely words that we can think of and still find ourselves in a place of disconnection, mainly because words don't just come with definitions. They come with emotions and energy and expectations and all of those things that sometimes make our communication go sideways. But I would suggest if you have a one-word conversation, you would learn a little bit more about yourself, the person that you're speaking with, and possibly build a relationship. One-Word Conversations is brought to you by IamWilliamBrown.com, a place to help you be yourself and live your life. One way that I spotlight what's available at the I Am William Brown store is our U-Cards. Our U-Cards are a part of our Beyond the Shell series. Our Beyond the Shell series is a couple of children's books, Finding You Beyond What Protects You, and The Journey to Stay You. And there's also a journal. But the cards are intention setting cards and journal prompts and also a game. So I picked these cards as a way to set the intention for our conversation. And here it is. I am kind. You are purpose. And be you, do you, for you. I think that's like the third time that it's come up this week, or something. It feels like I've seen that a lot this week. It seems somebody's telling me that I need to be you, do you, for you, and just recognize that. So this is the time where I invite you to share, like, comment, get your questions ready, and ask questions, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. So this is one of those shows, again, I went from one or two shows to almost half the shows this week have been shows where the guest has asked to be surprised on air. So I know the word, and now they're about to know the words. So as I do, I invite a guest to come in so we can have a conversation. Good morning.
Good morning, William. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. This is the moment where I invite my guests to introduce themselves however it feels comfortable to them.
Hi, my name is Beata Seweryn-Reid. I am a change and transition coach. So I empower my clients through change and transition. We focus their thinking on their strengths and their ability to overcome challenges successfully, because you can.
Well, wonderful. And thank you for being a part of this conversation. So, because you wanted to be surprised.
Oh my gosh. What did they do?
So here is the word that I've picked for us, and the word is genius. So how does the word genius land for you?
Genius. Wow. Right away it goes to the Aladdin lamp and asking for 3 wishes. Yeah, there is the story. But to be honest, after years of studying myself and serving others, genius is actually what is in us deep down inside of me. This little Beata that for years, she's still there for years, is trying to come to the world, and very often I'm stopping her. So the genius that is living within me, and I have to do everything to help her to come out to the world, to show up, because the genius in you, the genius in me, is someone that has a gift for the others. And if we don't help this little genius inside to come to the world, you will never be able to share your gifts, and the world needs you. And it's how I understand genius.
Wow. Yeah, I totally get that. I I say things like, I have flashes of genius, and I say that about this show. I say that about my ideas, and the reason why it's like, I do that is because sometimes I it's a flash because I have an understanding or an awareness of it, and then it goes away because it's like, oh, that was a great idea, or that was a great something, and it's like, where did it go? And so I try to hold on to that. And when you were sharing that genius is the little person within the person in you that's really not little, but it's just
Right.
there within us all. So the little William, right? The little
Usually is
all
the
that kind of
feeling,
stuff.
the voice, the intuition,
Right.
the
It's
word.
all in there. And I started thinking, it's like the flashes of myself that, I was, the flashes of genius is that awareness of myself that I'm letting go. And the more that I embrace myself, right? And
And
more that
if I can add here,
yeah.
we were talking just before the show a little bit about that, uh, that we have to learn about ourselves. We learn who I am, the I
Right.
am, for entire life. And I think this I am is a genius that we are discovering every single
Mm,
day. This I
right.
am that I often don't. Some people they will never know who they are because they are afraid to ask this question. When
Right.
you ask this question, you have to go, like you have to walk your talk, go deep, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. But again, you can have flashes, like you said, oh my gosh, I was brilliant at some point, or this idea was brilliant. But I think we are all genius because
Right.
we are here, we were created, and we are living this special time
Right.
in on the mother earth, so we are all genius.
Yeah, and I think that's I love that the purpose card, you are purpose, that came up, is that many times I have heard that I have to find my purpose, or my purpose is outside, that my purpose is in my doing. But the more that I embrace that I am purpose, right? That
Absolutely.
my existence has purpose, is purpose, and that more that I show up, purpose shows up. And so the more that I show up as myself, genius shows up.
Absolutely.
And that's the inquiry. I like how you say that the most of the people that have no awareness of themselves, right, is because of their inability or their fear or their conditioning not to ask the questions of that are needed to that are right there for us
Right.
to get. But there are many times I'll speak for myself. There are many times that I just would go, yeah, that's not me. And it's like, well, yeah, that is me, right? And just be okay with that.
Absolutely. And I want to share a little as part of my story because it relates to that word so like big time for me. When I was 7 years old, I had a car accident, and I got. I had traumatic brain injury, all this craziness, and I was unconscious. And then I woke up in a hospital after, I don't know when, after surgery, and I heard the doctors talking to my mom that your little kid, mom, won't ever be the same. She won't be as brilliant as the other kids. She will never measure up to
Hmm.
these other kids. And so we are born like genius. Yeah? Like we are these brilliant little creatures. And then you hear something like that. And I, even being a 7-year-old, I was like, whoa, that's not good. That is something not
Mm,
good. And I took it
wow.
in life for a very long time as I'm not enough to be like other people. I'm not enough. So this I am
Wow.
was shut down, kind of this powerful little
Wow.
girl that was running and happy, sharing her smile and happiness with everyone else, became scared. She became
Mm,
scared, and her I am was twisted. My identity was twisted for so long because I thought I died. I never will measure up to the others.
wow.
So yeah, so our I am, our little genius. I say little, it can be big for you. I'm just
Right.
referring to this
Absolutely.
little
Absolutely.
girl in me, uh, can be affected, and we often get affected by the outside circumstances, by the outside conversations. And we talk about words, how powerful words are. They
Right.
can uplift you or get that they can destroy you. So be wise how you choose your words.
Great. And no, thank you for sharing that. And I think there's so many well-meaning, knowledgeable people that say things about, our identity that has nothing to do with our identity, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's and we can take years to kind of reclaim, our genius. And I think where I'm getting tripped up on the big and the little is it's all that I have been embracing the big and the small of my life, recognizing that when I see myself in the big old universe, this is small. I'm like a speck. But at the same time, recognize because I'm in this big old universe, I can play a part. There's a bigness in my life. I can show up. I can show up in my relationships. I can show up in for myself and other people, and that will make a big difference. So sometimes, really embracing the big and little and connecting to that little genius that can kind of do a lot of things. I have a Christian label, so we have in the scriptures it talks about a mustard seed,
Mm.
faith, right? And so really recognize that little, what I think the illustration is, that very little seed, the image. So it doesn't take much of faith to really move mountains, to really do big things. And so as you're sharing of the little genius within us, it doesn't take much. We don't have to have a big genius. It's just the awareness of the little genius that is us, that that can make a difference in the world.
So I think I have to explain here. I believe that genius is huge, but we don't know it until we be aware. Yeah, you talk
Absolutely.
about self-awareness. We have to become aware what this little genius and how this little genius can move the mountains. And
Right.
we do it every single day. And moms, dads, yeah, we work, we share with people, neighbors. So we move the mountains every single day. And it's funny because Tony Robbins comes to mind, and his book Awaking the Giant Within. So
Right.
the genius is your giant, but
Right.
it's there, and sometimes it's just a little, weak voice that is telling you, yes, you can
Right.
do it. You can do it. But our ego is, no, come on. Who do you think you are to do it? So we
Right.
shut down the voice. We shut down the feelings of this little powerful genius.
Right.
And yeah, and then we have to start the journey over.
I think it's sometimes, I guess what's coming up for me right now, the reason why I have had a difficulties accepting my genius, right? That's why, and that's another reason why I say flashes of, is because most of the times when I have used, or how I was introduced to the word genius, it's because someone has mastered something, right? Someone is very smart in like everything, so you're a genius, or something. When I was growing up, when I would when I would hear genius, like, oh, think you're a genius, and it wasn't a good thing, right? You're like, it's like you're
Especially
too.
school, for me at least, when I was a teenager at school, it's like, who do you think you are? You are not a genius. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
exactly.
And it's like, so it's one of those things that it felt like because we were, I don't want to say denying our genius, but almost hiding it. It's like
Yeah,
we made our genius small, right?
yes.
So we
And
can kind
think
of
I think it's we going back to the power of words.
mm,
Some people at some point in our life said something that we believe it's true for us.
right,
Sometimes we never even check if it's true or not.
right,
One teacher, one coach, one neighbor, a parent, who knows, said you are not a genius, you are not that smart, and we internalize that oh my gosh, to be the genius I would have to be so like Tony Robbins or
right,
Les Brown, yeah, and
right,
we just make ourselves small.
right. Yeah. I think our genius has nothing to do with anybody else. There was a word, one of the words, I think I don't know if it was last month or so, it was genuine. And as we were talking within that conversation, is that many times I would look for other people to validate if I was genuine, right? And the only person who can really know if I'm being genuine is me, right? Is yourself. And so I was missing um, those opportunities to really own being authentic and being genuine. And it feels like the same way with genius. It's like I don't need anybody to tell me that I have genius, I am genius, it's a part of me. It's like if I believe that, then I can show up as genius. And however my genius shows up, it shows up. I may not put it on a business card, but but uh, but I can still believe it.
Absolutely, it's so true. But I think we still go to this what the power of words and opinions of others and self-image. Our self-image is opinion about who we believe we are compared to the world or compared to the other people, and we are
Right,
humans, we always compare. It's how we were, yeah, I mean, we were born perfect, blank page, and yeah, then parents and society were really helping us decide who we are. So
right.
what you talk about the self-awareness and discovering this I am who I am. And I just want to bring this quote, I feel it's Les Brown: the opinions of others are none of your business. And I had to
Mm,
learn it in hard way, and thanks to my mom, she helped me. She said that exactly the same. You have to be you. You have to find out who you want to be, and what others say about you, don't believe them. Go and check for yourself.
right. Well, it's like, yeah, I think I've heard that before. The opinions of others is none of your business,
Yeah,
but there's so many, right? And there's so many good opinions, right? And it's like, so it's like, okay, well, maybe it's just the bad opinions, right? Because if
absolutely. So you have to be aware. So awareness, aware of what works for you and what doesn't. But again, this human brain is so funny. We like, I'm talking for myself here and for my clients. We are like a sponge that attracts everything what is negative. Oh yeah, they said that I'm not good enough to be whatever position, so I won't even
right,
apply. Or I heard yesterday on when I was driving on the radio, it was silly, but it's reality. It was a real conversation. This song, this radio, the guy is talking to this gentleman that went on date with this girl, and she stopped, and they had a really great time. They met like couple times, and she disappeared. He doesn't know why she's not talking back to him. And so the radio show called the girl and said, what happened? didn't you have a good time? And she said, I had a wonderful time with him. So why you stop talking to this gentleman?
Right.
Because my friends said that he is not good enough for me.
Wow.
Hello,
Right.
here
Wow.
where you have to turn your independent thinking. You enjoyed this man, you enjoyed this whatever situation. I'm not just talking about relationships, but
Right.
someone's opinion that don't even know this gentleman
Right.
became your reality. Why?
Wow. Wow. Yeah, and we miss our genius. We miss ourselves, right? We
Exactly.
miss what's possible. It's like, really when I put together the U cards, I have an I am card and I have a you are card. And I went back and forth about doing the you are card. And the reason why I did is because many times what other people are saying about us gets more weight than what I am saying about myself.
Yes.
And so I wanted to see them together um, to let people see what you are, saying that what you are. So somebody else is saying something, and it's like, okay, I can take that in at the same level or credibility of what I am saying. Don't just allow somebody else's. I love that, having somebody else opinion, you know, shape your reality. And I think too many, because um, we think people are smart and brilliant and everything like that. And so it's like,
Yeah,
oh, they're smarter than us.
we
So,
see we see the genius in everyone else, but
right.
not
But ourselves,
in
right.
ourselves. That is
Right.
the challenge.
Right. And it's like, the biggest thing about, I guess me being a coach and working with coaches and having a mentor is that I have to really get flat and really understand that there's a lot of people that have wonderful advice, information, shared experiences, and want to give me tools to help me live my life. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what they say. It's what I, you know, what I believe and what I say about the situation. And
Absolutely.
that's will make the difference. That's when I will be um the genius, right? That's when I will be able to allow to do that. And it's not this either or, it's an and.
That's why
Um
I think the very important point here is, I don't remember who said it, like who the five, Albert Einstein maybe, the five people, the five closest people that you are
right.
surrounded with, they really
I heard
dictate.
so many people say that. I don't know who. I've heard
Yeah,
Tony Robbins say it. I've
but
heard
I
so
know
many
that
others,
Les
right?
Brown says OQP, only quality people. So
Mm,
watch who are you surrounded with. If the people that you are spending the most of your time with, they are draining your energy, you feel like they put you down instead of lifting up, well, you have to change your circle, because it's not your business what they are saying, but by
right.
being with them 90% of the time, it's
Right.
just you're just taking on their opinions and their beliefs. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's that sense of, I don't know if you know of the Maslow hierarchy of
Yeah.
needs. And within my coaching, I have reimagined that. So, it starts with basic needs, safety, belonging, esteem, and then self-actualization. And so, what I believe from that is not in support of you. That is just in support of just doing stuff. And so, my reimagine is to flip that on its head. And so, I invite people to have an actionable awareness of themselves. And then from that awareness, then your food and your shelter and everything is in support of yourself. So now you're eating and you're living in places that that you care about, that means something, that has meaning and values to you. Your belongings are in support of you. Now, so your relationships are healthier because they are in support of who you want to be and how you want to show up. Your esteem is in support of you and not looking for what people are saying on the internet or other opinions of other people. And then at the top, it's protection is of the things that you value, that are important. And I think until we really have this awareness of ourselves and then do things to support ourselves, we can be thrown all over the place, right? If because one person's opinion um, can basically, like you said before, even if there's facts around it, can really take years away from your life.
Absolutely. And not only opinions, but somebody's actions. Yes, I work a lot with people that go through divorce, and so they call it "I was left behind." So somebody's action puts them, and I was there too. For years in saying in depression or living like I'm not enough. And I love what you talk about this I am, because I am are the two most powerful words. What comes after that, it decides about our results, and about who we listen to. Do we listen and live according to the world around us, or according to what I truly am and what I truly want?
Right. And I think, well, I'll speak for myself. The reason why it was difficult me to do the I am, affirmations and really get to a place where I say that I am William Brown. And I know and I don't know what that means. Like when people say, well, what does that mean? And it's like, I'm figuring it out. I'm just showing up. I have decided to embrace who I am and just kind of just, see what shows up after that. There were many years where I couldn't say I am William Brown because not just that I was going by Bill, right? But it was like there was this not knowing, and there's not really appreciating, because my life was full of the expectations of other people.
Absolutely.
And I lived them up to, I did very well being the best dad I could be, being the best son I could be, being the best husband that I could be, but very, very rarely being the best William Brown that I could be, whatever I understood that to be. And so that's why there were flashes of that. It was like myself saying, I'm in here. I can, just talk to me, right? Just, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's easy to just please other people because we want to be liked, loved, belong. It's the human nature. So it's this pleasing part, and I've been there too. Yeah, so there was an event in my life many years ago now, but it was, and that affected who I was for years. I was in a long relationship, and my fiance, he left with other women, with other lady, and at that moment also nobody told me that I'm not enough. Nobody told me that, oh, you sucked. I told myself you were not enough, so he went out. You don't deserve. So again, the words can build or then can destroy it, and you are a genius that can take power over it, take power back, and say,
Right.
like you said, there was in one, before, like there was an event in my life, and it was just, or maybe it was before that your business failed, but you did not fail. So
Right.
my relationship failed. It's what I thought at that time, but it not me. It because of that event, I am
Right.
today. I am, and I offer what I offer to others. And I would not talk probably to you if that event would not happen. I would not move to United States. So that genius that is within me now knows that the life is always happening for me. And before I thought that life is happening to me. So it
Right.
was negative.
Right. Uh, and I really felt that it's that the more that we really take on and embrace genius, our genius, everything is possible, right? We'll figure it out. It's like, we can still mourn the loss, right? We can be disappointed, but
Absolutely.
it's not us. It was something. There's a lesson, as one of my dear friends. There's a lesson, right, in every blessing, right? There is, and sometimes the blessing is that they left, right? Right.
Right. And I think there is another saying, the setback is just a setup for something better.
Right.
So, yeah.
And so there I think there are more things that I know and I forget that gives me access to my genius. But it's like, okay, do I really believe that? Or it's like, yeah, let's roll with that today, right? And just do that.
And
You know,
I love what you said. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's
right,
hard to believe that I am a genius and that it's happening for me, that there is a blessing in maybe getting fired from the job, or
right,
relationship is not there anymore. So there it's when we are living in the situation in that event, it's hard, yes.
right,
And we are, our inner genius also is like, why is it happening to me? It sucks. And we start whatever I am after I
right,
am comes, then it's dictates if you are moving forward or you
right.
are moving back, actually living in the past or living in the present and looking for the future.
Yeah, there's something that I'm still working on, so it doesn't come out as smoothly as it is in my head. I call those downloads. So it's
Yeah,
like I'm still, and it's like, good luck with understanding this. But is to really embrace that I'm about to say the most important thing that I've ever said in my life. I just said it, because what we say dictates what we do next. And
absolutely.
so the more that we really not just try to find the perfect words or anything, but really understand what the words that we're saying gives us access to next, within this moment, in the next moment. And I think that's our genius, inviting us to just show up and continue to show up, you know, and that I am and I am becoming at the same time.
I love it. Becoming is it's ongoing. Yes, it's
Right,
happening until the last breath, and
right,
I think it's the most beautiful part of our life that we can
right,
get aware every single day about I am, and what come to my mind when you were just talking about words again, and I love words. So we humans, and it's the research, and it's not that I'm making it up, say they say that we think in pictures. But what
mm,
are pictures? Pictures are words. And from
mm,
words, and you say it often in your other interviews, words, we create stories out of words. Yeah, so
mm,
what kind of story we create for ourselves, it dictates what kind of results we have and what
Right.
kind of life we live.
Right. Wow. You know, I think we can talk about this for hours.
Oh, I'm very good.
Because the genius is that the more that we talk, the more that our genius will like kind of say, okay, this is what I have for you, and let's just kind of unfold. Is there anything that's coming up within this conversation that you want to leave everybody with?
Yes. So I think that I want to leave you with that thought which just came out of this conversation. And I want you to write it down and read it for yourself every single day. I, I, no events or people or things have the power over your I am.
Hmm.
So you decide what is your story. You decide what you call your genius and just stick to it.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you very much. This has been great. I I asked the people that that got surprised by a word. How was that? Was it how did I do on picking the word and surprising you?
It was perfect word. Wow. I think it's the universe. Yeah. Whatever word you picked, it meant to be. And I was, yeah, before we got on the show, I was like, oh my gosh, what is the word? I want to know. Because my little genius also mixed with ego was I want to present myself well. So I want to be prepared. But sometimes going with the flow is excellent, and look how wonderful conversation we had. Yeah, you did great. Your words are, yeah, you picked
Right.
amazing words.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. This has been wonderful. I would I'd love to be able to say our goodbyes in the green room. But
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. So genius. Have you embrace your little genius, and your genius will and your genius is you. The more that you show up as yourself, the people will see your purpose and who you are. I'm going to bring in kind because that was the other word that came up with, I am kind. And most of the times, in order for you to be kind to others, you have to be kind to yourself. And so recognize that you are genius. You are genius. Um, the I haven't shared with you enough, but there is a one-word journal that I will put in the comments that you can get your copy of. So you can have, there's 30 words in there, or you can use it. You can not use the words that are in there and just kind of watch the show and kind of write down how the words are showing up for you, so you can see how language is showing up for you to make a difference. But I'll put in the comments there that you can get your copy of the 30 days, 30 words, one word journal. Yeah, I hope this conversation has brought value not just to your day, but to your life. I invite you to reach out to me at IamWilliamBrown.com for a complimentary coaching session to help you be yourself and live your life. Because the world wants you, the world needs you, but the world isn't waiting for you. So go be you. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow on One More